I love fighting games, and honestly, I don't know why. Heck, I don't even know when I started to like the genre. I do remember there was a fighting game arcade system in a Nepal shop of sort. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a cafe, not like a restaurant, but more for getting lunch and big meals. Anyways, back then there were so many guys, boys, teenagers who were crowded and two people playing in a big screen. I was very young and I did not know what it was about. And I wasn't allowed to go inside to check it out because my mother was all like, "Only criminals goes in there." And I was naive fool who thought my family does not lie. But looking back, I think it was Street Fighter 2. It's funny because Street Fighter 2 was actually my first fighting game. Well, maybe it might not be a pure coincidence. Maybe I did see the game in the corner of my eyes and I started playing it because I was influenced by it unconsciously. Who knows? What I do know is I really sucked at fighting games. Like a lot. I also know that I actually look ridiculous in this clothing, but hey, for the sake of fighting spirit, am I right? I didn't know how to guard, grab, combos, heck, I didn't even know how to do special attacks. Just bash buttons and win. A lot was very close. Most of them were rage inducing, but overall, it was really fun to play the games. Then I started playing Street Fighter 4. Oh, sorry. Super Street Fighter! I even got the DLC, Arcade Edition, with the hopes of being the first one to reach the highest rank shown in the trailer. Ha 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 ha! No. Surprise, surprise, I still sucked at the game, and quite honestly, as much as I am not proud to say this, I rage quitted the game when someone spammed the same move over and over and over again and just wins. Thankfully, I did not rage at people who were playing less spammy than others, but that is not saying much. But again, young me was an idiot me, so take what you will. After that, I didn't play any fighting games. I mean, I had no one to play with. I had no one to play any games with, period. And PS2 and Nintendo Wii was my prime time then. Okay, well, there is one game from PS2 I played that was a fighting game, Karmen Rider 2 Blade, but I just love the Power Ranger card system. And the opening. God, the opening was amazing. Not quite a good fighting game though. Few years down the line, when I started playing indie games in PC and started to love them, a YouTuber named Total Biscuit did a WTF series, and one of them was Skulkers. Now, if you knew Total Biscuit, you knew how strict his criticism was. So, to not only give a positive output to the game, plus telling that the tutorial mode is really good, it sparked my interest and I got the game while it was still in the beta. I started loving fighting games more after that, and I don't know if I would still if it wasn't for that video. Thanks, Total Biscuit, and I hope the afterlife is treating you well. Anyways, Skullgirls was gonna have an online beta tournament for Steam and I applied for it, so I practiced and practiced just to get better at that game. In Skullgirls, there's a system where you can fight with 1, 2 or 3 characters at once. Bring out tag team combos, or if one is low, tag them to another one to regain some of their health back, while if you only have one in your team, you are super powerful and can take a lot of beating before going down. And if you play 1v1, it's a normal rule set, best of 3. The point here is I was only decent with one character, Valentine. She's fast, can do a lot of combos, and her movement can be difficult to predict in my opinion. My goal was simple, to reach around quarterfinals. There weren't much players if I recall correctly, so I just needed 4, 5 matches?
Yeah, no, I got my ass wiped in the very first match.
Yeah, that was painful. And honestly, I didn't even put up a challenge for them. Though, blessing in disguise, that person and I did became buddies after the match. And we usually play a few matches way as time went on. Still got my ass handed to me. But then and there, I learned that combos has patterns. And if you understand the patterns, you can block it. I know, it's such a simple thing to understand, but keep in mind I never had anyone teaching me how to play video games. Heck, I was the only one who liked gaming around me, friends included. And my source for learning mainly came from a YouTube channel, Core A Gaming, which I followed after a while. Do follow them if you want to learn how to get better at fighting games, by the way. The videos are simple yet detailed on each fighting game aspects. After Skullgirls, I wanted to try another fighting game that I wanted to take seriously. That's right, Rivals of Aether.
Hear me out, I did have Super Smash Bros. Brawl before Rivals of Aether, but for me, Brawl was more of a fun party game than a serious fighting game. And yes, I could have bought Smash 4, especially since I had a Wii U, but there was a couple of reasons I couldn't get it. One was mainly because it was region lock. I was in Nepal and I got the console in Europe. And two, and this is the most important one, I did not have enough financial support to buy AAA games back then. I still kind of don't here and there, but that's besides the point. So Rivals of Aether, an indie fighting game, was a pretty good substitute for it. But what is Rivals of Aether?
Rivals of Aether is basically a fast-paced fighting game, but instead of your usual fighting game where your health reach 0%, you lose, the more you get hit, the higher your knockback range becomes. Knock your opponent off the screen 3 times in default settings, you win. What really caught me off guard was this game didn't have any seal, grab or ledge grab. So learning it after I played Smash Brawl was a challenge to overcome. But what's cool about this game was it was very simple to do combos and special. You need to still master it, don't get me wrong, but it was easy enough for people to hang around and have fun with it. You still need more skills than Smash to have a casual match, but I digress. In this case, I like to play Ori, one of the cross-world characters for this game. They, I'm calling Ori they as we actually don't know their gender, are fast, precise and do massive damage if you bait your opponent.
You're gonna see that kind of playstyle from me moving forward. Fast, precise, and a bait-like character to bait your opponents and everything. But that is for me is the most comfortable fighting style. Well, maybe there's one more that is more comfortable and honestly I would be better if I played that. And that would be Zoners. For those who don't know, in simple terms, Zoners are characters who would go basically at the edge of the fighting screen and just spam projectiles and everything just to wear down the opponent and beat them in a distance. Some people call it turtling, camping, because again, you spam from an edge and projectiles to your opponents constantly until you win. And because of that, for me, it just feels cheesy when I play that. It just doesn't feel like I actually won because of my skill, rather just spamming projectiles. And you have to admit, Jonas, it is a spamming projectiles.
But then again, I haven't played much genres or many fighting games back then, to be honest. While I was still trying to learn to get better at fighting games, I had a lot of my friends who actually played fighting games. The problem was... And don't even get me started with PS5.
So when you have no friends to play with, your only best option is to play online matches and fail a lot. For example, when I was making and recording videos for the Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, people were playing constant with ridiculous combos at me, and I just died in like less than a minute or something. There was a lot of recordings I had to cut for the sake of the video because it was the same thing. Combos and combos getting wrecked all the goddamn time. And I tried to play before recording and after recording just to understand why am I failing. I was trying to analyze what combos I was doing, how to not get involved in that combo, how to bait people to do that combo so I can punish them for attempting it so that they wouldn't try again and all that jazz. And I just couldn't understand it no matter how hard I tried. I might not understand what's going on all the time, and there's only so much of one person can understand by themselves.
For this case, I play Ruby because I watched the anime beforehand and was the main reason why I brought the game. And yours came from Persona 4 because of his speed and his air and his counter baits. I actually wanted to get better at the game, so when I can buy the PS4, if I ever had a chance to buy a PS4, I would like to show my skills to my friends and say, hey, I can fight! So I joined a small Discord group where people played that game. And the more I played, the more... let's just say the only thing that they taught me was, your character choice is garbage and get good.
Yeah, thanks. I really want to get into fighting games with that attitude. I want to make one thing clear. Not all people are like that. Some people are really willing to help you get better at fighting games. Heck, Rivals of Ato was a prime example of people who were teaching me and playing with me to get better at that game. Even so, the first friend I mentioned in this video, I stole some of their assist combos or tag team combos and basically modified it to make it my own fight styles. And I still played with him using that and tried to understand it and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, I met both sides of the coin. Such is life.
And then I played the next big game. Them's Fighting Herd.
Still haven't watched a single episode of it.
Yeah, legally it isn't that game, but you can possibly guess where the inspiration came from. What's funny is that it was originally gonna be a fan game, but then they got cease or desist from the company, which then a certain person from that brand pretty much said, I'll help you draw the character to be more original. And here we are. I say this because that news itself made me very interested to play the game. So much so, I bought the game during the early access days. This one I played Arizona. Again, speed, bait, and pretty simple to use her command. So I started practicing the game on how to use Arizona over and over, offline, online, until one day, someone was willing to teach me how to do certain combos with her. They spent an hour for me to get used to one combo list. Keep in mind, they're complete strangers. They never have met me before and we just played in an online match. And they were like, oh, I'll help you get used to get better at Arizona. Why did they spend an hour just watching me fail over and over? I don't know, but I salute you for doing that. But when they need you to go because of life situation and everything, they sent me a file that pretty much a simulation how to do that combos offline. And I practiced that over and over, barely making some and failing most. But it made me learn something big. Combos don't need to be instant. It's a rhythm.
This sounds like common sense, but for me it was a big revelation. It taught me that timing is not about being fast, but being patient as well. To that one person who sent me the Arizona's combo and taught me how to do it, thank you. You have no idea how much impact you have made in my fighting game life.
Alright, let's do some lightning round before the final game. Brawlhalla, fun game. Used to play with a lot with one friend. Sadly, they stopped finding the game interesting and playing online was boring, so I stopped as well. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Mainly bought it because of Phoenix Wright comeback highlights I watched, especially I Heart Justice. What's interesting is this is the black strip of my playstyle, as Phoenix Wright is a slow character at the beginning and very underpowered, but becomes really fast and OP once you have everything set for him. And ask any of my friends, they know how big of a Phoenix Wright fan I am. I just wish someone teach me how to play these kind of games, because I feel like a sandbag every time I want to play online. Street Fighter 5, still trying to learn how to get the characters for me and all that, and failing. I still need to understand how to play it because it's not really fast, it's more tactical from what I'm understanding. Fight of the Gods. It's a stupid fighting game and I love it. You can also play a freaking Santa Claus in that game. Why? It's not why, it's just good. Mortal Kombat, not my cup of tea because its fan service is a bit too much for me. I'll just keep it at that. Dragon Ball Fighter Z is basically a button mashing happy game, so don't think as I am improving overall because of it. But cool game, and sometimes as someone who hasn't watched the anime or anything, I like it. Kohoimi Enbu basically feels like an arcade fighting game. It still need to play a bit more, but I only played like around an hour, but so far I like it. And specials are a bit confusing for me at the moment, but you know what, I can understand it after like a couple of more hours if I play it. And finally, Guilty Gear XRD Revelation. I love the 3D anime style, and the poor Kung Fu girl is probably my main character. Again, I haven't played much, but so far I like it. Actually, whenever I try to buy a fighting game, new fighting games, I usually go to training modes. I usually just immediately go to training mode in every new fighting game from now on, because I want to try the characters which I find most comfortable with, which fits my playstyle, the special attacks on those final attacks. But most importantly, it's the most fun I have in fighting games right now. I know it sounds stupid and it sounds like I'm making excuses, but it's true. Training mode is the most fun for me because I can just try so many stupid stuff and I'll be like, oh god, this stupid stuff actually works. Hopefully I can try it in the real match and everything. It's stupid, it might be stupid, but I have fun, so I'll take it a win. Okay, all of that aside, let's now talk about the biggest fighting game that everyone knows, everyone has heard about it. And I wouldn't be surprised if you have not. If you have, actually. I can English right now because I'm so excited for it. Street Fighter the original. It's such an Jokes aside, do I even have to introduce the game? This was a star-aligned game for me. All my friends played in the same console because only one port existed. Some helped me to get better at fighting games, and it was big enough to have weekly tournaments. Heck, yearly big ones like Evos and Epics and so much more as well. I used to watch a lot of Alpharad Smash 4 videos and was so hyped for Smash Ultimate. I actually remember getting it via pre-order game. And once I got the game, I was starting playing on the cafe near the pre-order GameStop I got it from, just so that I can try World of Light for the first time immediately. I was that hyped for it. The pandemic happened, but that didn't stop me for trying to get better at the game. Even play Smash Online no item just to get better at it. I wanted to be good at Smash. EVO Online tournament was gonna happen and I was extremely hyped for it for the first time, to actually be in a big Smash tournament and maybe learn from folks afterwards on how to get better again. I wanted to be good at Smash. I wanted to be good at Smash.
And then the allegations happened. Look, I'm gonna keep it short. A lot of Smash players were accused of becoming pedophiles. The EVO Online was cancelled because CEO was pretty harassing the workplace or something. Speaking of that, the Skulkers, the game I mentioned, the former lead designer of it was sexually harassing in the workplace and everything, and so much more that I feel disgusted to know that I followed them. Of course, after I recognized the allegations, after I knew the allegations and everything, I immediately stopped following them. But ignorance is truly bliss. This really put a dent in the fighting community, especially the Smash community. And it's not gonna be easy to just get away from it, put it aside or whatever. But remember, that is just one end of the coin. The other end is much more. It's more than 90%. I genuinely believe that. It's people are willing to respect the community, respect the people in the community. People are willing to teach you, and people are willing to have fun with you. I genuinely believe the fighting community is a wonderful place. It's just that moment really brought out the worst of it. And well, every community has the worst of it. As for me, well, I'm gonna keep on trying to get better at fighting games. I don't know how long it will take, but I think I'm getting better. I want to say I'm around decent, probably below decent if I'm being honest, but I'm getting better. I genuinely believe that. I don't think I can teach anyone how to get better at fighting games, to be honest, as I'm still learning here and there. And quite frankly, I still don't know why I love fighting games. Maybe because it's the people, maybe because I have fun, maybe because I like to bait people, and when my combos and everything works, it feels joy. I don't know. Maybe there's another answer. But I'll keep on fighting and keep on trying to find out. For now, wanna fight?
Hello connectors, this is the Weirdo Maxim here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, that was my opinion in fighting games and my experience in fighting games. As you can see, it's more like my adventure with MMORPG game, which I suggest watching it as well. It's pretty much the same. And I want to move on with these kind of genres, rhythm games, sports games, all that jazz. But I'll be honest, fighting games this script making was pretty difficult, pretty tricky, and mainly because of the ending, the controversies and everything. And some of my friends, I give the script to my friends and they were like, you should probably leave it, but some say you can keep it, and I had to modify it a bit because yeah, it's a very controversial topic, but I feel like if I didn't keep it, I would just be lying to myself and all that. So hopefully I did it well. I don't know, it was a very thin line and I usually don't like to talk about these kind of subjects. But anyways, thank you once again for watching. Be sure to check around my content and everything. Subscribe and of course, stay connected. Bye.